Hello and welcome to another Solo Leveling Arise video. In this video I'll be covering the Plum Blossom Sword buffs, specifically the 3 that it has to offer and how to activate them and a common misconception with one of them. So looking at the Plum Blossom Sword, this sword has the first effect that it offers is the Plum Flower. This is available at A0 and essentially every single time that you use the weapon skill you gain a stack that increases your crit hit damage by 12% for each stack, and the duration is infinite. So you're able to get this to 3 stacks for a total of 36% critical hit damage. At A5, this is able to stack up to 5 times for a total of 60% critical hit damage. The misconception that normally happens with this is that people think that they have to dash in order for it to activate, when all you have to do is activate the skill. What kind of throws it off is that there's nothing that pops up next to your character saying that this passive has taken an effect. You just have to look at the bottom of your screen and see that the stack will increase. The next one of the buffs will be the Full Blossom. The Full Blossom increases the speed of which you use the Plum Flower Sword Swift Flight, which is the weapon skill for this weapon. It also increases the attack by 4% and increases critical hit rate by 4%. This lasts 8 seconds. This one does require you to dash and to basically break your dash by using the Plum Flower. The Plum Flower Swift Flight. This one is a bit niche. It is the least of the buffs that the Plum Flower has to offer, and so you only want to use this one in certain situations. And you don't want to use it all the time, as you won't have all the dashes that you need if you do this every single time that you use the Plum Flowers. Then the third one of the buffs is going to be Amplifying Draw. At A1, Amplifying Draw is basically going to only happen when you sheath your Plum Blossom, which only applies when you use the skill of the Plum Flower Sword. This one is probably the next biggest buff, the second biggest buff. This one's insanely strong. It makes it so that your next critical hit chance is going to be increased by 32%. It's also going to increase the skill damage of your next attack by 32%. And also, I'm sorry, not the next hit. This one actually increases the skill damage up by 32% for the next 3 seconds. That's not just for the next attack, that's for all the attacks happening. At A3, it also increases the critical hit damage of Amplifying Draw by 32%, and now instead of having to activate the Plum Flower Sword skill, you can now just do a dash in order for it to take effect. So the full effect of Amplifying Draw is the next skill you use is going to have a 32% chance to crit. And then the next 3 seconds, or rather 5 seconds at A3, will be 32% more skill damage and 32% more critical hit damage. So I'll go ahead and hop over and show you the activation of each of the skills so you can see for yourself.
I need to hunt efficiently.
Alright, now here you'll see at the start of the fight, we already have the Plum Flower animation effect around you. And that's because at A5 it does start at 2 stacks. And you'll see down here, the third icon, this is going to be the Plum Flower. This is the stack that goes up to 5 at A5 and is 12% critical hit damage each time it stacks. So this is the one that you'll have for the Plum Flower. When you dash, you have this one, the one that's blinking, will be the Amplifying Draw. That's going to be the 32% crit hit chance, 32% crit hit damage, and the 32% skill damage. Now, if you do not dash at all, and you activate the Plum Flower skill, you'll see that now the skill has gone up to 3. But nothing else popped up on the side. You also see that Amplifying Draw also took effect at that time, and that's because of how it is at A1, where that takes effect every single time you activate the skill. We'll go ahead and wait for the skill to come up again, and then activate it again. Also showing that nothing has popped up except for Double Edge effect and Amplifying Draw. This stacks without any notification on your character. It only shows up there on the stack at the bottom. Now the other one, the last one that we have, is going to be the full bloom. Full bloom is when you dash and break your dash halfway by using the plum flower. And you'll see that it takes effect here. And remember, all that buff is just 4% attack increase and then 4% critical hit chance increase for 8 seconds. It's very small in comparison to the other buffs and is actually the most taxing in order to activate. Generally speaking, when using this weapon, you only want to use this when you're about to do a very big hit after. You really don't want to use it every single time. Otherwise, you'll run out of dodges and then you're pretty much done in. So once again, I hope that this video was helpful to some of you and that this helps you guys become better players. Hope to see you guys next time.